First of our bouts on day 5 between Oikari, big anchor, his name means, and Shimotori, frost bird. Well, this is Oikari's 6th basho, Makuuchi basho, and it's Shimotori's 2nd Makuuchi basho. So 2 newcomers to this top division. So pretty much Tsupari attacks there to the face, slightly wild and undirected, but eventually it's Shimotori who takes his 3rd win. He's not doing too badly. Previous basho only had 6 wins, but already 3 wins by day 5. Now Tamanoshima fights Tochinohana. Tochinohana comes from the same amateur sumo university as Miyabiyama, which is Meiji University. That's where a lot of the amateurs do their sumo. They do it in the university sports clubs, which is where most sport in Japan comes through. Don't do an awful lot of studying, but they do a lot of sport. So now both wrestlers are locked in. It's a very solid double belt grip there from Tochinohana, and Tamanoshima was wavering a bit there. He couldn't really do anything with his arms. So Tochinohana takes his 3rd win as he hustles Tamanoshima out with yorikiri. Chiyotenzan fights Hamanishiki now. These 2 have fought 3 times before. Chiyotenzan's won 2 of them. Chiyotenzan good at pirouetting on the edge of the ring if he gets driven that far. Now just driving Hamanishiki just straight back, so he didn't need to do any balletic movements on the edge. That's a straight push out. Yorikiri win for Chiyotenzan. Kyokushuzan, the dark red Mawashi. He's married not so long ago, and his wife's just had their 1st child, which is a son. Seems to have perked him up a bit. Whoops, he nearly got his legs swept there by Buyuzan, but he recovered. Kyokushuzan on the left there with 4 straight wins, and there was a neat little pull down. Well, that was an overarm twist there. He was holding over the arm, and instead of just levering him over, he began to lever him over, and then he put a little bit of a twist into it. So yet another different technique from Kyokushuzan. So 5 straight wins for him and 5 different techniques. Jumonji fights Kaiho. They fought 4 times previously. Kaiho's won 3 of them. That was an early start there from Jumonji. And Kaiho there, he saw what he did the first time and he came out much the same. Almost looked like a smile on Kaiho's face there. He tends not to show any emotion whatsoever, whether he wins or loses, or is in pain, or is feeling good. So that was Kaiho's 3rd win. Now Kotoryu against Wakanoyama, probably the hairiest wrestler in the Makuuchi division. So early start by Kotoryu, but it's Wakanoyama who gets that, drives Kotoryu back, and it's Kotoryu who steps out first. Despite there goes the right foot of Kotoryu, so although Wakanoyama got spun out and dumped down, it was Kotoryu who stepped out. So Kotoryu's 3rd loss, and it's the 3rd win for Wakanoyama. Otsukasa fights Dejima, who fights under his own name, doesn't have a sumo name. Though Dejima does sound like a sumo name. The word Jima or Shima means island, and a lot of wrestlers have that word in their name. So it's Dejima there who forces out Otsukasa with yorikiri. Good drive there. Overextends himself a little bit, but it was Otsukasa who touched down outside the ring first. Oh, Dejima certainly looking a lot better. 4 wins and 1 loss so far. Kotonowaka, who's said to be Tochinozuma's least favourite opponent, here fighting Tamakasuga. They fought 15 times and Kotonowaka's won 14 of those, so can Tamakasuga reverse that trend? Well, it's the long arms of Kotonowaka that started off with an advantage, with Tamakasuga trying to fight back, but it's the long arms now coming in again, and Tamakasuga's got no answer for that. The Nodo Azeme, the thrust to the throat from those long arms were just too much for him to counter. So that's Kotonowaka's fourth win. So he got one loss as well, and that was the fourth loss for Tamakasuga. Oh, that's Kotonowaka levelling up his performance with that of last time. He had 4 wins previous basho and 11 losses. Now we have Robocop, Takamisakari, chucking a lot of salt in the ring just past Akinoshima. And veteran Akinoshima in his 85th Makuuchi basho. 6 bashos a year, divide that by 6, gives you an idea how long he's been in sumo. About 14 years, or 14 years in Makuuchi sumo. Well, he got twisted around there by Takamisakari. He did a frantic grab at the neck, Takamisakari's neck, as if he was going to do kubinagi, the neck throw. But it was not to be. Takamisakari just pushed him out from behind. Okuridashi win there for the Robocop. Kyokutenho, Mongolian. He's got a brother in sumo, fighting Takanowaka. They fought 6 times previously. Takanowaka's won 4 of them. Kyokutenho reaches for the arms first, takes them away, or I say pushes his long arms out first to the shoulders of Takanowaka, and then but very quickly takes them away. And now both wrestlers settling in on the belt. Now there's a run there from Kyokutenho, but Takanowaka survives on the edge and comes back in. And there's a grip break there on the belt. Takanowaka manages to free one of Kyokutenho's hands from the belt, known as Mawashi Okiru, to cut the belt. You can see the grip fighting that's going on this side nearest to us. They're both gripped on the far side. There you can see, both have got hands on the belts, but it's the battle on this side. But anyway, that battle can be interrupted at any point if the other wrestler weakens up and one side feels that they can simply move them back or over the edge, then they'll leave the gripping and they'll go straight for the pushing. So there's always a fascinating mix of techniques in sumo, and all done very quickly, one following the other. Push, pull, twist, turn, hustle out, flip over, leg grab, lots of things can happen. Now Takanonami, we saw in his previous bout, not very good at the tachi-ai, here fighting Hamanishiki. See Takanonami hardly comes forward, just touches his hands down and then rises up. Now he's got his arm locked round Aminishiki's arm. That's a favourite technique of his. That's the Kime hold. So it's an arm breaking hold. Now he tries to spin round and apply a lot of pressure on Aminishiki's arm, but Hamanishiki just hooked his leg away, which actually is one of Takanonami's favourite techniques. He's very good at wrapping the leg round, so bitten with his own technique there. And that's the first win for Hamanishiki, doing very poorly in this basho. Now Green Wolf, Asashoryu, fights Tochinohana. Tochinohana can be very strong or it can be very weak, a little bit like Kaiho. So it's Asashoryu comes out slightly slowish. Now he's getting into gear. Now he's going into his favourite slaps, and he's giving Tochinohana some stick there, pushing hard, but Tochinohana comes back strongly, puts up with that thrust to the face and neck and throat, and looked like Asashoryu was going to pull it off, but eventually he just heaved out the lighter wrestler. Well, that was neatly done. Look on his face there as if to say, well, not putting up with that nonsense from a new wrestler. So let's watch that one again. Slightly hesitant start from Asashoryu, then he goes into his tsupari. There we see it, to the face, to the throat, onto the body, to the chest, to the throat again, another one to the throat, more and more to the throat. Looks like he's got his opponent on the run, driving him back to the edge all the time, getting rougher and rougher, and then he slides. And that's when Tochinohana comes back in and starts driving him out. So Asashoryu just misses one of those thrusts. His arm slid off the side, and that was enough for Tochinohana to sneak in there with his own attack. Now, Chiyotenzan, the express train, come out like a rocket from the blocks. Here against powerhouse Wakanoyama. Chiyotenzan wins this one. It will be his 400th sumo win. He's got 4-0. Wakanoyama's got 2 losses. So let's see how it will go. So there's a bit of a head-banging start, and then it's straight for the pushes. Well, tremendous power there, as predicted. Chiyotenzan just wins with a straight walk forward, and then over the other side of the ring. So there it goes. And it's that all-important footwork that's got to back up the arms. Now you see his feet are not quite moving, but they're starting to move now. Once they start to move, almost impossible to back it up. So that's known as Dayashi in sumo. You've got to keep your feet moving forward as you're pushing with the hands. 5th straight win for Chiyotenzan, and his 400th sumo win. So last final handful of salt from Musayama and Daizen. They've met 5 times in the past. Daizen's won 3 of them. Daizen at 154 kilos, Musayama at 169. Not a lot in it. So even start there. Musayama drives with the head, but doesn't give Daizen a chance. From the Atari, the slam, a lot of quick tsupari and Dayashi footwork, which drives Daizen out. So Daizen with 3 losses. Musayama doing well, only 1 loss and 4 wins. Now, it's an interesting bout coming up now. We've got Miyabiyama, who's coming back on form. He dropped out a couple of bashos due to injuries. Tochizuma, 2 bashos ago, won a tournament. Last basho didn't do so well, only had 10 wins. And he's got 1 loss already. So the heads go in there. And Miyabiyama pushing hard, getting Tochizuma on the run there once they've got him going. But Tochizuma comes back in, pushing and pulling. More pushing and pulling, but Miyabiyama looks like he has it, except right at the end there, it's Tochizuma. Clips him down with a hatakikomi. Slap down, pull down, call it what you will. Abrupt change of direction there at the end, so there's that start. Certainly looked like Miyabiyama's bouts virtually all the way, except right to the end. Now, this is not unusual in sumo. The fortunes of a wrestler can change in an instant. Miyabiyama trying to pull down there, more slaps to the face, separate somewhat, then they come back in again, more thrust to the face, a little bit of a head bang there, and there's the pull on the back of the neck, and down goes Miyabiyama right at the end. 4th win and 1 loss for Tochizuma, only 2 wins and 3 losses for Miyabiyama. Now Toki. The Orange Marashi fights Kaiho. Kaiho's fought Toki 7 times, beaten him 6 times. Kaiho with 2 losses, Toki with 3 losses. So Kaiho not doing too well in this tournament. Slow start there. Kaiho tries some throat thrusts, but Kaiho not having much of that. Just locks on and walks forward. So he's actually slightly lighter than Toki, just a few kilos lighter. But certainly looked a lot more powerful. So Toki there winning his, not Toki, sorry, Kaiho taking his 3rd win. Now, Sashimaru, Yokozuna against Tochinohana. These 2 have fought 30 times. Sashimaru's won 25 of them, including the last 8. But Sashimaru is looking exceedingly strong, especially in the last basho, which he won, and already in this basho. Not making many mistakes. He's not getting in a flap when he can't get his right hand on the belt, and he's not being sidestepped. So let's see how it goes. So there's a straight clash of bodies there, and Tochinohana there started driving in with his head to Musashi Maru's chest. It let him take a couple of steps, and then he just twisted to the side, and down went Tochinohana. Well, it was a brave start from Tochinohana. There's a considerable weight difference between the two, something like 80 kilos. Well, there you see it. It's a kind of inashi movement. That's the opening door movement, where one wrestler swings around to one side. So 5 straight wins for the Yokozuna, the grand champion. Second loss for Tosa no Umi. So there's Musashi Fuji, the new bow twirler, who's got the permanent job here of doing that. Now, at the end of day 5, it's 3 wrestlers with 5 straight wins: Musashi Maru, Chiyotenzan, and Kyokushuzan. But we'll be back after the break with day 6. Don't go away.